Good afternoon, world. It is moments past noon here in Waxahachie, Texas, deep in the heart of the Lone Star State. I got to tell you, what a weather day. You
Yeah.
come out 60 degrees this morning at 6:30 in the morning, 86 this afternoon. You gotta you gotta change your clothes from warm to shorts to warm again in the same
Yeah.
day, 26-degree range. You
Yeah.
can't beat that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it is what is today? It's the September 9th of 2025. This is episode number 89 of The Greatness of Grit and Good News, broadcasting live from our palatial downtown studio here in the shadows of the historic Ellis County Courthouse. We got our man Sam in a wonderful
Yeah.
get
What?
your arm deeper. What is that color we calling
It's
that?
kind of a
Peach. I'm
peach.
going
Oh,
peach.
yeah. It's hard to see it there, but
That's
it's a
a
bright
nice
peach.
peach,
And what
huh?
does it say on the back?
Relentless.
Someday never come.
Relentless Apparel?
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about the other day. So, Relentless Apparel. We're not here to plug anything, but
Yeah,
it's a really nice, particularly for young
yeah,
men. It's a nice apparel line, not very expensive. They got cool sayings on the back,
yeah.
like Sammy says, "Someday never comes."
Someday never comes.
Yeah.
Okay, and so obviously we've introduced our man Sam. I'm your co-host Jeff Lynch, and here we have our man Scott Brooks. And Scott, what you're wearing on your head, I noticed uh, this weekend in sports, these tiny little squares
Yeah,
with the
this is the
name. What's the new deal on that?
they come out every year with a
Okay.
sideline shirts, polos, sideline, all kinds of stuff.
Hmm.
But namely, it's identified via their hats. So
Yeah.
every year they come out with a sideline hat, and normally it's just the NFL.
Right.
Well, this year because I think these are so popular,
Right.
they've come. This is the new era sideline hat,
Okay.
and I didn't know that they had one for colleges, and I found this one and bought it. I mean, I've got one for the Cowboys, one for the Bills, and one for, and they're just really nice.
Show them the top of your brim too.
Oh, it's underneath. Yeah, they got this
No,
free.
this part here.
Oh, that little thing there,
Yeah, little.
and then they have this cool. It's rubber thing. It's really
The
nice hat.
things we talk about here, the
Yeah.
things we care. I mean,
Anyway,
guess what? Fashion does
roll
matter to
tide.
men too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So what you got your 80
We're number
89
80.
yet?
That's our 89th show. Did you already say that?
Sorry,
Our
nice show.
89th show.
Yeah.
Before you get to that, Sammy, let me just say welcome to everyone. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday. We've been doing this for 89 shows, which, if you do the math, is probably somewhere around, because we've had some weeks off and trips and all that, but about 40. If it's 49 episode, is about 45
Yeah.
shows, 40 to 45 shows. No, 40 to 45 weeks. And
Yeah.
so we
We
love
have
it, but we're glad you're here. And as you can tell, we have an agenda, or what we call a set list, and we follow it, but we don't mind being sidetracked.
how
So
about this? Last year, right about this date, we were doing our final practice show, which
yeah,
never showed.
so it's been a
Our
year.
first show was September 17th last
Wow,
year. We're coming on the 1 year,
time
episode number
flies.
1.
And so Sammy does this thing with our the number of our episode, although he's going to start to have a problem when he gets to 100.
We'll just go back
We
to
get
We're
to
one.
going back
100.
to
We'll
1.
go back to one.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we're at 89. So Sammy tells us notable sports figures that wore that
From
same
the
number
US.
And
from the U.S.
usually we're in the
Well, they're not.
80s, so it's
Yeah,
been NFL and hockey.
yeah.
But I'll start with the NFL. You got one, Dad?
I do. 89 would have been Steve Tasker
I don't
for the
have that.
Buffalo Bills. I don't know if that was his number. If Maury's watching, he'd
I
know.
I have a Steve Smith Sr.
Yeah,
for the
blow
Panthers.
hard.
I got Mike Ditka.
Ditka.
Ditka. He was the coach of 85 Bears.
Yeah, I also played for the Cowboys.
Yep. And then I
He
got
also
And
he played for the Bears.
he
And did you
did
see him last night?
the Bears. No.
Well, so
Bears.
they were doing a special last night at halftime on the 40th anniversary of the Bears winning the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and they flashed him in the stands. I didn't see the
Oh,
halftime
what did he
ceremony.
look like? Is he aged a lot?
You know what? I thought he looked pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we got Mark Bavaro, Giants tight end.
Yep.
Doug Baldwin, Seattle wide receiver. And then the last one for the NFL, we got John Mackey.
John
tight end.
Mackey. Yeah.
NHL, Alexander
Mogilny.
Mogilny, Hall of Fame winger. I know you know a lot about that, Jeff.
Yeah.
Then we got Sam Gagner, and then the Russian rocket Pavel
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 Bure.
Bure. Pavel Bure.
We ought to have a show where we don't
And
tell Sammy the name.
he had He had they played for Vancouver.
Huh.
Who? Pavel Bure? Yeah. Yeah.
So Alexander Mogilny, drafted by your Buffalo Sabres
That's right.
in '88. In 1988, he was on the Russian Olympic team, picks up gold at age 19.
Yeah.
He plays on the World Juniors for Russia at age 19. World Juniors in hockey is 20 and under.
Yeah.
Okay. Picks up gold.
Yeah.
Picks up in the World Championships, he picks up a gold in '89. He's what they call the triple gold in hockey: a Stanley Cup, Olympic gold medal, and a World Cup championship.
He won a gold. He won a Stanley Cup.
He won a Stanley
With
Cup.
who? Because he
I
went to
think
Vancouver.
with
Yeah, I don't remember
I
who.
think with Jersey.
Oh,
I
that's
think
right.
with
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And he played 16 years in the league, and he was the first Russian draftee to defect and come play in
In
the
America.
NHL.
He was a
And
player.
so you got him in his early days in
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah. For those of you watching, not that it matters to you, but I spent most of the decades in Buffalo, New York, a city that gets a bad rap, but it's a beautiful place. And some of the best people next to Texas and Alabama, some of the best people on the planet. Love those people. But
And the
that's where
best
he
football
played.
team.
And what?
And the best football team.
So far, so good after last night or Sunday night.
Oh, and I know we're going to talk about that today. I felt so bad when I saw it was the topic, and then last night, it's first Monday of the month is Bunko night, and Rita, one of her sons who lives in Houston, and she's very close to, and she talks to him 2 and 3 times a week,
Yeah.
2 and 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And on Monday nights, on Bunko nights, he always calls me up. He goes, "What you doing with my mom gone? You watching the game?" I go,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And, so it's kind of a boring first half, which it was, and it turned out to be a great one.
Yeah.
And he said that the Buffalo game the night before, he thinks was the best football game he's watched in his life.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch it, so tell us about
It was a great game. I mean, it's somewhat of a rivalry now between
Yeah.
the Ravens and the Bills. Funny story is, and it would have been 1990 something. My oldest son was 12. We lived in Baltimore. I worked for the Baltimore Sun,
Mhm.
and only a year there because I left Buffalo to go to Baltimore, stayed a year, and then came back to Buffalo. Anyway, the not preseason, well, it was a preseason game, but the Baltimore Ravens inaugural season,
Okay.
we flew from Baltimore to Buffalo to watch the first preseason game, their first game ever.
Okay. All right.
And I'll never forget that. Maury was there, but it was fun to see a new team.
Hi,
But
Maury.
the game last night or Sunday night was just phenomenal. I mean, you had these rivalries, and going in, you think, well, it's always that thing. It's almost like the Cowboys, a touch of the Cowboys, where you have this feeling that the other team is just going to have one up on you every time you turn around. And sure enough, the Bills came out, scored, then the Ravens scored, and it started back and forth, and then the Ravens caught wind, and with 4 minutes to go, to be exact, 3 minutes and 56 seconds to go, in the game, the
Right.
score was 40-25, Baltimore.
15 points.
Mm.
Okay.
And so I literally looked at Sonia and said, "You ready to watch our series?" Because we're watching this series. And just when I did that, one, I felt guilty because I know my man Maury, who's been a Buffalo season ticket holder for 40 years, was there. And I don't like, I will leave it. If he's with me, I'll leave him. Because I'm like, dude, I'm out of here. And I have many times. But for some reason, when I'm not there and I know he's there, I feel like I need to stay and support him. So anyway, it also, at that very moment, Derrick Henry, a stud from Alabama, I might add, fumbles the ball and gives it back to Buffalo. And Buffalo, in the next 4 minutes, Buffalo scores 16 points to win the game on a last-second field goal from a
Wow.
kicker who just joined the team this past week.
Wow.
It was
He looked old too.
well, he is.
I mean, he looked like
Relatively
40
speaking.
plus.
Yeah, I mean, he relatively speaking for football players, he is. But for those of you
Has he been
watching,
around the league for a
yeah,
while?
yeah,
What was his
and
name?
Matt Prater, Matt Prater.
Okay.
And Sammy, get that off there. He is he is a good kicker. But that game, for those of you that didn't get to see it, you ought to just watch it. Just watch the game. If you want to, if you want to watch I mean, it was all
I'll just
all it
watch
was
the end.
exciting, but
Yeah.
watch the fourth quarter. Just watch the fourth quarter, and it'll take you 45 minutes to an hour. Watch the fourth quarter. It was incredible. And if there's any doubt as to why Josh Allen is the star in the NFL, most valuable player, and or why he's so loved, um, Sunday night's game that tells you all you need to know. He just was. He would manage the team, led the team, stayed up, was positive, and seemingly never doubted that they were going to come back. And when he got done, they estimated there were 25,000 fans that left right when I was about to turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something to the effect of, "You fans need to practice some
How
loyalty."
many years has he been in the league?
8,
8.
I think 7 or 8.
I'd say
I think he was drafted in 2017.
somewhere around 3 or 4 years ago. It was a Monday night game, and we don't always watch Monday night games, but Reed and I were watching this game, and
Hi, Sarah.
he dominated
Yeah.
so much. We fell in love with him in one game and said,
He's
he's the man.
Well, he's a great guy, and people love him there. He's newly married. He's going to be the second coming of Jim Kelly, who Buffalo loves because Jim Kelly stayed in Buffalo, still lives in
Mhm.
Buffalo. Josh Allen, they have homes in other places, but Josh Allen's going to be the same
Right.
way. But Josh Allen's just a wonderful young man and not drafted much out of college, if any. Well, no one really in the NFL was or college was after him out of high school, but the Bills took a chance on him, and look what he's done. I mean,
Yeah.
it is an amazing thing to watch him play. And then last night's game was a dud until the fourth quarter, and really second half, but fourth quarter, and then JJ McCarthy, a rookie who spent last year injured after being
Meniscus.
drafted in the first round.
Yeah, he tore his meniscus last.
And so he comes on and beats the
Freaking
Bears.
Bears suck.
It was quite the football weekend.
Let's get a
So
couple more football things.
what do you
in.
got?
We got Sam is ahead 1-0 in the
Yeah.
bet
So the
about
bet,
Russell
So that's
Wilson.
$5.
Russell Wilson starts, Sammy gets $5. If he doesn't, I get $5, and that's for the Giants.
And they're going to start him again despite his lackluster performance in the opener.
And they play the Cowboys. So Sammy's
Here.
going to be rooting for the Cowboys to win, which will actually play to Sammy's loss of
And those
income.
tickets are still on SeatGeek at under face value.
Really?
My seats are. Did you hear
Interesting.
here? You know what? Everybody has to have too much to say about everything, and so we continue to follow along that line.
Mm-hmm.
So people were saying, the media was saying that Archie Manning's face crumpled into a grimace on a throw.
You mean Arch Manning?
Arch Manning.
Yeah.
On a throw that he made, and Sarkisian said that Manning isn't experiencing any pain when he throws his ball. And then a reporter drilled him further on his facial expression. And I love this. I don't know. I've never filmed any of you guys while you're using the bathroom, so I don't know what faces you make when you're doing that.
I saw that video.
Did
It was,
you see
it was,
that?
it was a pretty good
And then
response.
Arch comes back and he goes, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I just make an expression when I throw the ball. And it reminds me of some of those female tennis players when
Yeah.
they grunt so hard
Yeah.
on the backhand. Okay, I mean we don't have to
Yeah,
microanalyze
it's the
everything.
media being ridiculous. They were doing that with I saw some other coaches over the weekend getting this fed up with these reporters asking some dumbest questions on the planet. Arch Manning's going to be just fine. He's going to be what people expect him to be, in my opinion.
And I told you the other day I'd give you some of these. I'm going to keep these quick, but as your Crimson Tide,
Yeah.
and Leroy
Yeah.
Jordan who played for them and helped them win 17-0 over Oklahoma in the '63 Rose Bowl, and this is the quote about him. If they stay, Bear Bryant said this. If they stay in bounds, old Leroy will tackle them.
Yes.
In his famous forearm shiver during a practice with the Cowboys, he hammers Dan Reeves and busts his lower lip. And Reeves wonders if he does that in practice, what does he do to opponents? He had just gotten there.
Yeah.
And Dan Jordan said, when asked him that question later, or Leroy said, Dan, if my grandmother put on a helmet and ran the ball for the other team, I would have to tackle her.
Of course.
Okay.
They don't make
it,
them
wa-
like
it
that
was one of
anymore.
only 5 linebackers ever with more than 30 interceptions and 15 fumble recoveries.
Yeah. He was a player.
Yeah.
And he played for Bear Bryant.
Yeah.
So roll tide.
So there we
All
go.
right, a couple other things. We'll just mention the Rangers won last night, be the best team in baseball, 5-0. That being the Brewers. So I haven't looked at the standings today, but they're right there. They just got to keep playing. Keep
I thought I
playing.
wrote it down. They're 3.5 out of the division lead, and they're a game and a half out of the wild card
Yeah,
lead.
so they're right there. In our Tarnations category, where we go back to old Jed Clampett, who for the Beverly Hillbillies, what in the tarnation's going on around here? So we have what in the tarnation. Let me just share a couple of things with you. Caleb Williams, the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. If you watched the game last night and didn't notice, he had his fingernails painted. And he did that at USC his senior year and took a beating for it. I mean, there wasn't, as I recall, no cause or reason for him to do that other than just that generation. He didn't do it last year, his rookie season. I don't suspect that would have been welcomed at the Chicago Bears facility. If any team is going to look down on fingernail painting by their quarterback, it's going to be the Bears. However, last night he had his fingernail painted, and so I was just shaking my head. How can this be happening? This is it's not, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but it just speaks to the generation that we're dealing with here. However, I then read about it later, early this morning, that he paints his fingernails in honor and in support of suicide prevention, which has been a very big part of my wife's, and because of my wife, it's mine too, but our family, uh, big part of it. And so I admire him for doing that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that courage. So the what in the tarnation kind of turned into, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then another one is the awful stabbing of the young Ukrainian refugee. She 19 or 20 years old, a pretty young lady, gets on a train over the weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina, of all places. Behind her sits this thug. Didn't know he was a thug at the time, but within 2 minutes or 3 minutes of her getting on the train, and she's just sitting there, just sitting there reading her, looking at her phone, and the video shows him getting up and stabbing her. If
Do
I'm
we
sure that
know if he knew anything about her?
no, he didn't. It was totally random. He's mentally sick, which is one part of the tarnation. Is what in the world is going on when a young lady, no connection to anybody on that train, gets murdered in broad daylight, innocent as can be, in a vicious way. And if I didn't see the whole video, I don't really want to. The videos that are out there are showing him right as he stands up and he's got his right hand coming down and it stops. I'm sure the whole video is somewhere for people to review or look at, but he kills her. And so that's one part of the tarnation. The other is that, so we got two issues here. One, the guy with the mental illness, obviously he's got mental illness, but he was in jail earlier this year for things on a rap sheet that's as long as a drugstore receipt. And a judge, another rogue, stinking judge, lets him out on a written promise that he'll get it right. Uh,
Dog's cheap.
then he does this. So there is a push now to have that judge impeached, kicked out, and then the mayor of Charlotte, which is a blue city, she's a Democrat. She comes out yesterday and I guess more today, but certainly after the event, and says in a compassionate way, which I don't have any problem with compassion, but her compassion was aimed as much to the guy who did it with his mental illness as to the young lady that was murdered and her family that's dealing with that now. She there's this constant urge and desire to want to coddle and pat the perpetrator, the murderer, on the back. And I mean, this dude, they knew this guy was trouble. He was in jail. They let him out in a city that is like any other blue city that's soft on crime. And look what he does. And I just, I'm sick of it. I swear, if we, and thankfully we don't have that environment here, but if any environment within our voice were to be that kind of city, we'd have to do something about it. I don't know what we'd do, but we can't sit by and watch it happen. So, some tragic things, some crazy things in our tarnation category. So there you have it. Let's talk about pets. Uh, so Sammy and
I'm a cat person.
his girlfriend, Sammy is a cat man. Uh, and so Sammy and Kennedy have two cats.
We have 2 orange cats. They're both
What
brothers.
are their
Does
names?
that make them calicos?
No, they're just that orange.
I have
Okay.
no idea.
No, they're not that calico color. They're
Okay.
just strictly orange. But what are their names?
The one with white is Nico, and the one that's all orange is Simba.
Simba, Nico, and Simba.
But they,
So,
yeah, they love
Simba's
each
my
other.
college nickname.
It is.
well,
Mhm.
so
And
you
lifetime
got
nickname, really.
cats, and then you guys have how many dogs running
Well,
around?
they have 4 dogs. One stays outside.
Sammy's Kennedy, his girlfriend's family has four with
But
one
yeah,
outside.
they have a golden retriever, golden doodles, sheepadoodle.
Yeah.
They're all very very nice. I don't not like dogs, but I just prefer cats.
Well, one of those dogs has the biggest head I've ever seen on an
He
animal.
does.
Bigger than an elephant's head. Jeff, you have a dog,
Layla,
Layla, a
boxer, named
boxer.
after Layla Ali, the boxer. I heard that the current world boxing champ woman is trying to entice Layla Ali to come out of retirement for $15 million for a fight.
I'll give her my number.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Who
Yeah.
knows?
You know,
But a
but the
boxer,
power of, yeah, a boxer.
yeah.
It's,
Let me mention my two real quick,
yeah.
and then we'll get to your point. So we until November the 1st last year, we had three dogs. Our oldest, Maggie, which was a Parador, Lab Pyrenees mixed, solid white, the most perfect dog a family could ever have, and it's breaks our heart still today that we don't have her. Uh, she just got old and sick, and but we have two. The antithesis of Maggie, although we love them the same, is our two Chihuahuas, Binks and EJ. They are just what you would expect Chihuahuas to be: a joy, frustrating. They got attitude. They'll bark at whatever they think it is they
Hmm.
hear, whether there's nothing or not.
And,
They are crazy.
and what's funny is both of our cats are bigger than both
Yeah.
Binks and EJ.
Yeah. So our dogs are 10, 9, and 10 or 9 and 11 pounds.
Yeah, ours are way more.
Yeah. So anyway, what were you going to say, Jeff?
Well, I was just going to say, growing up, we had one dog. I don't want to get into much about that story, about how she tragically died. But in my adult life, I remember when I was married the first time, to accommodate my wife and the two kids that were then 6 and 4, I went along with getting a first dog. It had problems. We got a second dog. She was a good dog. Um, but I felt like my whole dog life, starting from that dog, was paying for vet bills, paying for food, um, picking up the poop because the kids and the wife would never do that, even though they should be doing that,
Yeah.
and then moving on to, as a single parent with my daughter Marianne, and always always a couple dogs, often 3 dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. And then towards and the same things I just said apply to those dogs.
Yeah.
And I love those dogs. I got along with them. I was happy we had them, but I did it for the family.
Right.
And then, I buried all 3 of those dogs next to the barn. Okay. Who's doing it?
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm divorced for a long time, and Rena and I marry, and so she's got a great boxer sugar, and she's got a little uh, dachshund mix, peanut, and it's the same thing. I didn't have the financial burden,
Yeah.
but it was the same thing. I'm picking up the poop. I'm
Yeah.
accommodating the women in my life that need these dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, and then both those dogs die, and now we got no dog at all.
Yeah.
And I was okay, but she was grieving and she needed it. And so we get Layla as a puppy. I did this poem recently about her and how mad I got at her digging and finally I cured her of that and then she's my walking companion and I still take care of the poop. I do all the dog walking. But the trade-off is the boundless love makes up for it.
Yeah.
And boy, I just feel the love. I feel the
Yeah, I
love.
mean, there's a love from a pet, particularly a dog, because cats love differently, but dogs, it's just pure, it's the pure essence of love.
Yeah.
And for us, you know, like many people who own, whether it be Jack Russells or Chihuahuas, you know what you're getting into when you get them. And our dogs, you know, Chihuahuas have the big, proportionately speaking, Chihuahuas are the dog that have the most brain capacity for the size of their skull, which in some ways makes them smart. And they are smart, but they are as cantankerous. Well, they're not really cantankerous. They can be, but they are defiant. And so we pooped and pee uh, protected our home, you know, with things on the corners of the walls and other measures that we've taken. But and we have a doggy door, and they can go out. They go out that doggy door often, but they'll go out the doggy door and then come back in and do their business. And we have those little pee
Oh,
pads, you know,
yeah.
and
Mm.
in certain places that they have been comfortable using. So
Sir, that's
that will
bad.
happen. But that's we knew that going in, and they're very protective. Neither one of our dogs will bite us. Now they'll bite other people, but they won't bite us. They will, however, make it sound like they're going to bite us, and uh, and then turn right around and be all over us. And so, but the idea, the reason we're talking about this is because one, we recently had some content on our Great and Good News platform about the importance of dogs and how they can change so many lives. There's this. Thought I'd share this briefly with you, but how pets impact us, um, our mental and physical well-being. Pets reduce feelings of loneliness. So,
Hmm.
like my mother-in-law, who's dealing with Alzheimer's, lives alone in a big old home, and uh, uh, we've often thought about whether or not a dog would be good for her. It would have been at some point, but now that she's got Alzheimer's, who knows? We don't want the dog to be in harm's way because of forgetfulness or whatever else. Plus, my mother-in-law likes her home to be not neat and clean. Our home is neat and clean, but that's because we make an effort to keep it that way with our dogs, because they shed. But the reduction or the elimination of loneliness or the reducing of it is a
Hmm.
very real thing. Pets foster connection and community. I mean, it's rare, particularly for a guy. You go walking. I used to have when I lived in Pittsburgh. I was single. I had a greyhound named Jet,
Hmm.
Brindle,
I remember that.
beautiful dog,
I remember you
and
talking about that.
I when I took him for walks in Pittsburgh, he was a babe magnet, as they say.
I
Uh,
had that with a Dalmatian.
yeah, well, I mean, even today, I mean, you know, I've never been happier in a relationship than I am now. And our dogs, they got little bitty legs. Even the tall one, you know, has little bitty legs. So they're not long distance walkers like Layla. Uh, but
But
when you take them
do
out,
you give them like up a block and back?
well, we don't yet because it's been too hot. But we are going to start. We've got a wagon now. We just bought a leash that rotates on it, so it's got two things, and they won't get twisted up. So the things rotate and
Hmm.
untangle itself. So we're going to start that. But it will be one block and
Yeah.
back, and we'll put them in
Yeah.
the wagon. But you take a dog to a dog park or just out on a walk, it's often that you meet people,
Yep.
and the dog's the connection. Pets encourage mindfulness and focus because you gotta pay attention to them. Got to make sure they got water, their food. You got to clean up after them. Make sure they're
Yeah.
well and all that sort of thing.
In
So
the millennials and the Gen X and the Ys, that going to the dog park, that's a
yeah,
big thing.
it
And
is a
and,
big
and you
thing.
know what? I think there's a lot of dating relations that
I
come
would
out
totally
of
agree.
people meeting there, which is
Yeah,
cool.
totally
Which is
agree.
cool.
Pets encourage healthy habits beyond physical exercise. Those habits are things like daily walks, um, and you put somebody that's going through depression or recovering from an illness or what have you. Dogs know that. They know. Well, one, they it's been proven that they can tell something's coming in a person or that a person is sick. They are mindful, they're thoughtful, and so they want to be with you, and so that improves somebody's ability to get better. So there's that kind of benefit. Then the
Yeah.
last one is the pets support resiliency and recovery.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same along the same lines. Um, I tell you, eh, back in my younger years and stress and all that was so prevalent for me. Uh, both at home and at work. Sometimes I didn't know where I wanted to be. Was it less stress at home or was it less stress at work? And even though we had pets along the way, I never really had that comfortable feeling of saying or excitement to go home and see everybody. Now I do. So I look forward to seeing my wife when I get home. I look forward to those little, we have hardwood floors, so all you hear are the little nails
Right.
running across the floor, and I love that.
Yeah.
So it's an excitement. But if you don't have a dog, and dogs aren't for everybody, neither are cats. I'm not a big cat person, but man, I would encourage ownership of a pet in a heartbeat, and particularly in a day and age where there's so many that are abandoned and so many that are needing to be adopted. These people that do bad things to animals, doesn't matter what the animal is, deserve to have the same things done to them. So anybody that can own a pet is
Yeah.
and treat them right is somebody I'll like for sure.
And there are people that would look down at people who have purebred dogs. I know that ours is, and I don't feel guilty that I didn't get a dog at a pound.
Yeah, I mean you shouldn't feel guilty. I mean we've got we bought one from a breeder and we rescued EJ, the older one, from someone, but and it was a foster family, but he had been abused and
Yeah.
neglected, and it's just awful. And you can still see that in him,
But he got him from a shelter, but he was purebred, or he wasn't, or you
He's
don't know.
pretty,
Yeah,
well, I'm
best you
pretty
know.
certain he's
Yeah.
purebred, but you can still see those indications that he was neglected and abused. And I mean, it's fading, but it's taken us what 3 or 4 years to see that start to wane. But anyway, if you don't have a dog or cat, particularly in this case, we're talking about dogs, I would encourage you to get one, and they will bring joy to your life. Sammy, do you have anything on that? You like your dadgum cats?
Cats are better,
Why are they
but
better?
well, they clean themselves. They
Yeah,
use the restroom by
yeah.
themselves. They're more independent, so they're not all lovey-dovey all the time. But
Well,
I
why is
mean,
that a positive?
well,
Yeah.
I mean, because in our
If
case,
in that
in
case,
our case we have two, so they're not always in our business. They're usually cuddling by a window together,
yeah, well,
not destroying the house.
yeah.
So
All right.
We'll
I
go.
mean,
We'll go with it.
yeah, we'll go with it.
y'all know cats are better.
In our second segment, there's a senator. He drives me crazy. Hey, Rachel, uh, howdy, watching on YouTube as well, but it won't allow me to comment. It may. I don't know, Samuel. We'll check that out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a YouTube comment above her. My phone is just dead, so or else I would try.
What is it
But
with y'all and dead phones? I mean, I never have a problem keeping my phone fully charged. Why don't
Yeah.
just do it every night when you
you
go to
writing a
sleep?
book?
Uh, I'm about
Keep this
one,
chapter
and
out
you're going
of
to
it.
be the villain. But anyway, we'll make sure we'll check that,
Seriously, Sam.
Rachel. But thank you for joining us. So there's a senator. He's mostly known for two reasons. One is he's a fool, and number two is that he ran as Hillary Clinton's vice president in 2016 when Trump beat her. His name is Tim Kaine. He is the senator out of Virginia, and or is it West Virginia? It's
Out of
one of
sight,
those
out of
two.
mind.
It's one of those. Hey, Kennedy's doing a test. Any? Okay. All right. So the senator who's as left as you can get, who uses these hearings, uses any platform he can find to to I don't know, advance his obnoxious ways. It just if there's anybody on the left, and I'm not apologetic about this. I don't care for the way the left does things, and I think they are a risk and a danger to the success of America. Tim Kaine could be considered one of the poster boys for that. Well, last week in a hearing, he made the comment, both implicitly and directly, that he believes that our rights come from the government. And in one way, he made it a point to say to the witness who said our rights come from God, that is a dangerous mindset, that our rights come from God. Putting aside the Constitution, putting aside what's the other Declaration of Independence, where it says unalienable rights, we're given unalienable rights, we're given them by God, and yet here's a senator who doesn't seem to care, and is, again, it falls in line with those people who are saying, oh, take your prayers and your religious, where you go in times of fear and struggle and danger and all this other stuff, whether it's God, invoking God's name, or praying, or going to the church, whatever. They're like, don't give that stuff to us. That doesn't work anymore. The kids are being killed. Things are happening. We gotta work on remedies, as though there's only one of those, as though that's a sucker choice. You can do both. But anyway, Tim Kaine is leading this charge that our rights come from government, and I'm here to say, what an offensive, as a Christian, but even as a citizen, what an offensive thing to me, an offensive thing to say. They don't come from government. If they come from government, then government can take them away. So our rights to free speech, our rights to freedom of religion, and go on and on and on, come from our Creator. Got it? What say you?
I got a take on that.
Okay.
Okay. Different rights come different ways. God gave us the number one right, the right of free will.
Mhm.
And tied to that is the right to accept that He was our creator and Jesus Christ was sent as His Son to show us how to live
Right.
and to teach us the law of love and what the golden rule was.
Yeah.
It was all pretty simple stuff.
Right.
Okay. And He didn't give us a lot of specific rights, but He gave us those general rights. And that was the important thing.
Mhm.
Okay. And I think about our creators, for them to say God given rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I can't, God gave us our life. I don't know much about Him giving us any liberty. And I don't know much about Him giving us much pursuit of happiness.
Mhm.
It's, but so I'm confused about that. But beyond what God gave us, which was very general, all the rest of the rights in the world do come from the government that you live for, because the rights we have in the United States are different than the rights in all kind of other countries of the world. And we've got democracies, and some of them are stronger than others. We've got um, communist governments, we
Mhm.
got socialist governments, and they've all got their own rules. So he's right that we do get a lot of our rights from our government, but God didn't want to grovel around with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So
He came in at a high level.
yeah. So I would. There's obviously, this. There's a distinction between rights and laws.
Right.
So if so let me ask you this. In your opinion, Sammy, you can weigh in too. Is the right to free speech from the government or from God?
My brain is telling me from the government.
My brain is telling me from the
All
government
right.
too.
So if He's given us free will, which is the premise, which is true,
Right.
and our free will is to use our voice in any way that we want.
Then the government has superseded God's will.
Yeah, so that's where I'm headed. And the
Right.
same thing with firearms. So
Right.
so I think you're both right on the target, insofar as there are countries in America that do say
Countries
your
outside
rights
of
come from the
America.
government. Is that what I
You
say?
said countries in America.
Outside of
Yeah.
America that say we'll tell you what your rights are.
Right.
So if again, it's like Rush Limbaugh, my favorite of all time, used to say, if the media if the media can make you something, the media can destroy you.
Right.
He was exactly right. And then we have countless examples of the media making people and then destroying them. Take a look.
Mhm.
If you doubt that, consider Ellen DeGeneres. Consider Rosie O'Donnell. Consider countless others who were propped up by the media and told that, look at, I'm telling you, Barack Obama is going down that same path. He was told to us by the media at large that he was the second coming, essentially. And he played into that. Remember in Chicago when he won the election, he said, we are gonna essentially stem the tides of the oceans rising. We're gonna deal with the weather. We're gonna all this other stuff, as though he was some holy person capable of doing that, and he never was. But the media made him something.
And he,
Now look at
and he
what's
bought
happening
it.
to
He
him.
bought into it.
He did. He played it. He played it against us.
Remember the great Bill Parcells coached the Cowboys,
Yeah.
and when the Cowboys under him they got a little bit uppity after a
Yeah.
win, he says, "Don't eat that cheese they're feeding you.
Exactly.
Don't eat the cheese."
Saban called it rat poison.
Yeah.
Because if there are athletes out there who've been made to be something incredible by the media, and then the media at a moment's notice, can just turn your
Fickle,
back.
fickle, fickle.
So it's true the same thing about a country. If a country can say you can do this, then it can tell you you can't do that. So when I listen to people like Tim Kaine and others, again, you won't find anybody on the right saying this, conservative. So it comes from the left. I think they're just kind of Satan's spokesperson in that sense. They cannot. Tim Kaine and his posse, or whatever you want to call them, can't
Merry band of
can't give
bandits.
us anything. They can make laws, but laws are established by votes. They can't tell us, and we've seen them try for years and years to take away the Second Amendment.
Right.
What goofball Beto O'Rourke has said, we're going to take away your AR-15s, your AK-47s. Well, we saw how it went for him, right? So we do have them continuing to try to say that the rights are given to you by the government. Tim Kaine is just one of the goofballs who's willing to say it out loud, just like Beto. But it's not the way this country was built. And I want that to be clear to people. We do have free will. We just had a discussion in our Sunday school class, the same perpetual discussion. Why does evil stuff happen in a world made by God who says he loves us? There is the answer to that is that we don't know. We don't know why this young lady in the train in Charlotte was viciously murdered
Right.
in a world that was created by a loving God. We don't know exactly the answer other than he gives us free will. And with that comes the propensity for people to do evil things. I just lost, as you know, you and Sammy know, a dear, dear 44-year friend of mine, like a brother, died of a heart attack in his sleep. Why, if there was anybody at 64, if there's anybody that, I mean, I got a list of folks I'd say to God, take them instead. Take the murderer in Chicago, in Charlotte. Don't take Tim. So the truth is, we just don't understand that sort of thing. But we do know that to love somebody is to give them free will, right? We don't. Well, I
Yeah.
love Sammy unconditionally, like God loves me and all of us. And I had a responsibility to raise Sammy, but now Sammy's an adult and can make his decisions. Trying to control him isn't love, it's the
Right.
opposite. So the idea that we have a political party who's willing to say your rights come from government is all the more reason why we need to pay attention to what's going on in our country.
Yeah. And the other thing that's interesting about the government laws is you got different levels: federal, state,
Yeah,
county, city.
yeah,
I mean, right down to liquor laws within a town. In some of them, it comes down to what precinct you're in. It's wet or
right.
dry. I mean,
Yeah.
there's all different levels of government, but they're all different from the free will
Yeah, I
from
mean, look
God.
at the difference between even in the same state, between a Dallas, a metroplex like we have here, compared to Austin, the way
Yeah.
it's run.
Right.
It's right and left. I would never live in Chicago. It's a blue city.
Mm-hmm.
It's wrought with dangers, and I wouldn't live there. So we must stand for understanding that our rights come from God.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Random thoughts for today. What do you
Random
got?
thoughts. Here we got. These first two are things that I end up finding myself saying a lot for whatever reason. I don't know if I think it's cute or what. I'm commencing to commence.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm progressing with my progress.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Youth is wasted on the young. That is so true. And it's like digging yourself a hole and blaming the shovel.
Yeah.
And hurt people hurt people.
They do. No doubt about it. So it's that deal. And I would also say, yeah, hurt people by their language, by their actions, by their behaviors. And what happens though is sometimes particularly with us being our content both local and national, we get all kinds of feedback and some of it's not very nice. And I automatically want to go into fight mode. And then I say, wait a minute. The reason that person's saying such a nasty thing is not because of me, because of what's going on in them. And to your point, and what was the one before, well, second to the last one?
It's like digging yourself a hole and blaming the
Yeah,
shovel.
that's the
I
argument
did
on.
not make that up. I heard that and I loved it.
Yeah, that's like people who say guns or forks are the reason why we're
Yeah.
obese, or guns are the reason
Right.
why there's death. Same thing. Very good stuff. All right.
We got a
He
couple minutes
said.
on our Autopen and then we
Yep.
got our fun.
Autopen. So we're going to make this very brief. So the Autopen, the investigation's almost over to see the extent of how or which the Autopen was used by the Biden administration. I argue it was used a lot by people who should never have been anywhere near that Autopen machine or Autopen machines. I've seen pictures of machine after machine after machine lined up and them going to town. Just, I mean, putting documents in there, just like, I mean, anybody could have put in pardons and that thing would have signed them. So I'm glad there's an investigation. We're going to find out what the results of that are probably within the next month. Question I have for you, both of you, is do you think anyone will go to jail?
No.
I
Sammy
wasn't ready
says
for
no.
that question. I was busy thinking about the fact that we do have Autopen a lot in our lives when we're signing all kind of documents
Yeah.
on things electronically. We're basically doing that. And I was busy thinking about when he had all those pardons on June or January 19th.
Yeah.
Did it would be okay if the Autopen was used if he said, "Here's my list.
Yeah.
Do it. Autopen it."
Yeah. Not a problem.
Do I think anybody will go to jail? I'm doubting that.
Okay. So we'll find out. I believe there'll be somebody that'll be the
What do you think?
spokesperson. I do. I believe somebody will go, maybe not to jail, but they'll pay a price, whatever that price is, as the fall guy or fall gal, as it were, because there are I think what we're going to see is there's proof that Biden is like, I don't know what you're talking about, but people got pardons. I mean, I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pardons, preemptive pardons, which is a joke. Uh, that are going to be shown to be fraudulent.
So what would the charge be?
Well, I mean, it should be a felony, and it should be,
What would be the law?
well, you can't, no one but the president can authorize, uh, the use of the auto pen for his signature. Nobody but him. He doesn't have to be there when the auto pen is doing it, but he has to say, yes, you can do. So if like I signed a bunch of documents, we have stamps for things, but we don't have stamp for my signature. So I sign them, legal things, affidavits and others. And, uh, I do that so that one, it looks like it knows that I'm doing it. And number two is that I know what's going on, particularly with certain things that are about revenue. So I don't mind doing it, but they're not hundreds of thousands of documents.
Right.
So something needs to happen here, and I think it will. All right, so there you have it. What do we got for rhyme time today?
Well, this wasn't because we were talking about dogs. This one's called Dogs Lives Matter, and it was in July of 2020 in my days when everything I was writing. It's when I learned to write poetry in the tumultuous times of 2020, and always something to write about.
Yeah.
And it turned me into a poet.
Let's hear it.
and it's really not that much about dogs. Dogs' lives matter. Even dogs' lives matter. Yes, dogs' lives matter. All God's creatures deserve to live. Jesus told the people. Yes, he did. We've got the SPCA, Be Kind to Critters, every day. There's the NAACP, ensures folks of color get their dignity. Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. Black, white, Latino, Indian, Asian, Eskimo, no matter what you name them, hate has become the show. Do you treat all folks the same? Come on, time to confess. If if not, you're a hypocrite and a huge part of this mess. R.I.P. George Floyd and many other a kindred soul. The same sad story has grown mighty old.
Yep.
We're not using enough love, the secret ancient tool. Without love in your heart, you surely are a fool. Simply love your neighbor. It's the most important part. Lest we lose our direction and the world falls apart.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very, very good. All right. Time for this day in history for those of you that are joining us new because of these air tickets. And look how many I got. I mean, holy cow. We're giving away 4 in the next 24 hours. So if you comment on this show live or watch the show later and comment, you'll be able to win 4 of them free. All
Just
right.
for fun, I want to give you some of Mondays because here's how I started out Monday.
Okay.
I was 0-3 on the dates, but I got the 3 bonuses on the fact.
Nice.
Okay. I'd like you to get all the facts, and if
All
you
right.
get the dates, that'd be great too. Michelangelo's towering marble statue of blank was unveiled to the public in Florence, Italy. Famous, probably the most famous statue ever created of the greatness of Michelangelo.
Not Julius Caesar.
David.
Oh, I was picturing this. They're both similar.
1504.
Yeah.
I missed the
Got
date.
it.
A Spanish expedition established the first permanent European settlement in North America at present day blank city
Alamo,
and state.
San Antonio, Texas.
When did the Spaniards discover
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I have no idea.
St. Augustine, Florida? The first settlement, St. Augustine, Florida. 1565. The Dutch surrendered New Amsterdam to the British, who renamed it blank.
Denmark.
New York,
Oh, wow.
1964.
Nice.
So anyway, I
Yeah.
rallied after that, but
Well,
that
that's
was
good. I'm
that was
impressed
fun.
by what you knew.
Here we go.
All right.
8-1 today in history, September 9th, 2025. The Second Continental Congress formally adopted the name United States of America, replacing the United Colonies of North America. Second Continental Congress.
1806.
1795.
1776,
Oh my goodness.
right
Yeah.
after the Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
California was admitted as the 31st U.S. state.
1869.
What'd you say? 1869?
1840.
1850. Split the difference
Dang
between the
it.
two of you.
Man.
About 1,100 members of Boston's 1,500 member police force went on strike. The strike was broken by Massachusetts government Governor Calvin Coolidge, with replacement officers. That's when he was governor, not president. That's part of why I didn't get it.
Laura de los Santos.
She
Great
got, she was
name.
there.
Uh,
I'm gonna go 1911.
no, 22.
1919. You're okay.
Booyah.
Did I
And
get
you're
it?
okay with your 11.
Was it- oh,
No.
No.
Oh.
Off by
Missed
8.
it
Sorry.
by that much.
Ah, boy.
For y'all
I got the,
watching, you have to be within 7 years up and down to
and
win.
you get the bonus if you hit it
Yeah, if
on
you
the
hit it on the
money,
money.
which I did on this one, and I surprised myself.
Awesome.
The People's Democratic Republic of North Korea, of Korea, parentheses, North Korea, was declared. There was just one Korea before it became North and South.
1949.
1951.
48.
Oh, yeah.
I got one.
President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the first civil rights bill to pass Congress since Reconstruction, a measure primarily concerned with protecting voting rights. It also established a civil rights division of the U.S. Department of Justice.
1957.
1959.
The bonus is in effect for the young
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Good job.
You gotta let me go first.
All right, I'll let you go first.
What was that date?
1957.
57. Prisoners seized control of the maximum security Attica Correctional Facility near
Western New York.
Buffalo, New York,
Yep.
taking 42 staff members hostage and demanding improvements to inmate treatment and living conditions.
1977.
1984.
71.
I'm there.
You're there. And we close with King Charles III gave his first speech to Britain as its new monarch, vowing to carry on the lifelong service of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, who died earlier.
2019.
2022.
22, the bonus is in effect again.
Sammy.
I remember. I just didn't remember
I
the.
You're
was
in the ballpark.
6 and 3
6 and
today.
3.
All right, there you have it. Let's see.
Do we have any fun on this show?
We do have fun. I
We
do.
have fun.
I'm glad you guys make it fun. So we've got a sponsor here I want to mention for anyone across the country, not just in North Texas. Hoosier Custom Meats. If you're looking for some custom meats, Hoosier Custom Meats Company is
We're
the
back to having
place.
sponsors?
Well, we got this one, and we're thankful for it. We limit our sponsors for various reasons, but this one we're proud to have. I have two product lines, both of which have Angus beef based genetics. The Wagyu, I don't know if you have it's Wagyu. I've had it; it's very good, but I don't know if that's the
It's
right way to
from
say it.
Japan.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think
Wagyu.
it's Wagyu.
Yeah.
Is a cross between an Angus cow and a full-blooded Wagyu bull. Uh, both Wagyu and Hoosier Reserve beef are available in a variety of cuts, including ground beef, patties, cutlets, fajita meat, chili, and stew meat, as well as New York strips, ribeye, and fillets. There are many options to choose from in terms of a box, so you can put your box together of all the meats you want. There are something for everyone. There are specialty items that they sell: beef jerky, snack sticks, smoked sausage, summer sausage, bratwurst, as well as our meat church barbecue rubs and seasonings. So they have it all. And over the years, we've tried a few specialty meat, and most all of
Mhm.
them are just so
Have you
dang
tried
good.
this?
I have not yet, but I will. But I want you guys too. Hoosier, Hooser, custom meats. You
Like
can find them.
Indiana, right?
No, because I think Indiana has an I in there somewhere. That's why
Oh,
I spelled it. But if you visit HoosierCustomMeats.com, Hoosier spelled Hooser,
right.
custom meats or you can call 903 688 1446. 903 688 1446 for additional information. They will take great care of you. So there you have it. Hoosier Custom Meats. We're happy to have you as our sponsor on our show. 4 tickets to the state fair will be given away this time tomorrow. Sammy will take care of all of that. So we'll choose someone who has commented on our
Have you
shows.
got the fair dates there?
I do. The fair dates is 3 weeks away. What's the date? No, 2 weeks away. Today's the 9th. It starts September the 26th through October the 19th. Again, we have bunches of tickets, so we're going to be giving away lots of tickets on our show, Grit and Good News. By the way, you can go to substack.com, search Grit and Good News. You'll find us there for $5 a month, which is chump change compared to these tickets. You will get an email every Monday and Friday morning with lots of content from Jeff, Sammy, and I, content that we think you really enjoy.
twice a week,
Twice
all
a week.
month long,
All month,
$5
yep,
each.
$5 a month.
Get a annual for $54.
Yep. So you get a little break, 10% break. So please do that. But we'll again on Thursday we'll be giving away 4 more tickets, and we'll just keep giving them away until we don't have them anymore. So anyway, there you have it. Thank you for being with us. We'll be back here Thursday live at noon. Jeffrey,
Oh my goodness.
thank you, and put a
Put a smile on somebody's face today and have a great day.
there you go. Thank you.